Buenas, gente del canal, gente de YouTube. Estamos aquí en el episodio número 4 de Vampyr. Y hoy va a ser... Bueno, vamos a leer primero... Bueno, esto dejamos aquí primero. Hoy va a ser un episodio de conocer gente. Hoy va a ser un episodio que vamos a tener que leer bastante, etcétera, etcétera. Así que vamos a ver. Querido Jonathan, le he pedido a la enfermera Crane que prepare un despacho para usted en la segunda planta. Por favor, disculpe la ausencia decorativa, pero el hospital Permentok no es precisamente el Ritz. Siento que tenga que conocer solo su despacho, pero debo descansar un poco antes de seguir con mi trabajo. Al fin y al cabo, no soy más que un simple mortal. También he dado orden de dejarle descansar y de que el personal jamás acceda a su habitación. Podrá dormir todo el día sin ser molestado y trabajar por la noche sin levantar ningún tipo de sospecha. Me temo que el lugar está un poco desorganizado, pero podrá llevar a cabo sus experimentos a su ritmo. También observará una ventana abierta con un andamio que le permitirá entrar y salir del hospital sin ser visto. Puedo imaginar lo terriblemente novedoso y perturbador que resulta todo esto. Créame, he estudiado lo suficiente a su especie como para comprender lo que estará pasando y sintiendo ahora mismo. Pero no se preocupe, haré todo lo que esté en mi mano para ayudarlo con esta terrible experiencia. Sepa que no está solo en todo esto. Me alegro de haberle conocido, pues corren tiempos difíciles para todos. Espero que nuestra futura colaboración produzca resultados increíbles. Bienvenido a Perneston, estimado compañero. Volveremos a hablar muy pronto. Saludos cordiales. Vale. Vamos a conocer a gente del hospital. ¿Qué le pasa, señora?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key.
Vale.
It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
A ver, espera, voy a conocerte un poco mejor, señora.
Yes, doctor?
¿Cómo está la situación por aquí?
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Vale. La morgue no, voy a decirle, nunca descansa.
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
¿Cuándo duerme?
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Vale. Le voy a decir que la falta de sueño puede ser
Lack of
peligrosa.
sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Bueno, vale, señora. Ok.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
Vale, ahí tenemos la siguiente misión que tenemos que hacer, ¿vale? Ir a la morgue a recoger cosas para poder... Desconocido. Para poder hacer los analgésicos estos que dicen. Pero bueno, vamos a ir. Esta es la tía que ya acabamos de ver. Esto no se puede abrir. De momento no. A mí el doctor este me resulta un poco raro. ¿A vosotros no? Esta la conozco, ¿no? Sí. La Dorothy, creo. Vamos a ver al padre, ¿qué tal está?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Su vida en Londres. ¿Cómo ha acabado la guardia de William? La
How
guardia
did you end up in
del
William
William
Bishop's
Bishop?
den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction
Alcohólico,
suddenly
vale.
changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Vale.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
A ver. Sobre Tom Watts.
Do you know Tom Watts?
El
The
camarero,
bartender from the
Que era amigo de William.
I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Desesperación.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
La verdad es que sí.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Vale. ¿Cuál era la situación en los muelles?
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
¿Quién dirige ahora la
Who
banda?
leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his
Ey,
wife
este es el
Edwina
que hemos
that
salvado,
runs the
¿eh?
show, with the assistance of her
Y su
minion,
esposa.
Ruth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Ok. Preguntas personales. ¿A qué se dedica?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your
Hombre,
I manage
esto
a
es algo
night
obvio, yo
asylum for
creo.
the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Pues a mí me dieron con una cruz y...
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel... empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
A ver si se va a transformar este también,
I
gente.
believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Vale. A ver cómo vamos las personas que conocemos, gente. Vale, este es el profesor, que tenemos 3 pistas, 6000. Este es el cabrón este, que es el de la banda, 350 de experiencia solo. Y está agotado, le podríamos dar para curarle, para que aprendiera. Vale, esta es otra, a Dorothy. Aquí no conocemos a nadie. Y aquí conocemos a estos. Esta 1500, 2700, el camarero, 350 este también y el cura. Vamos a hablar con estos dos.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital.
Estás un poco chapolvo,
And
¿no?
who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal,
¿Pero qué dice esta mujer?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Venga, que sí. Su vida en Londres. Es un vampiro.
and why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Descríbame los síntomas.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
Si tú supieras...
Hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Sus enemigos.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see.
Pero que
Don't
dice, esta
worry.
mujer está fatal de la olla.
These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Vale, hay otra investigación. Ah, vemos qué es eso. Si damos al R2, vemos que esta nos daría 1250 puntos de experiencia y ya hemos descubierto una pista, ¿vale? Y cautivar todavía no podríamos. Necesitaríamos subir. Bueno, ahí te dejo. Preguntas personales. Requiere... ¿Quién es en realidad?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Vale.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Here again.
Ya verá usted, señor.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed.
Lo tiene como
I've
quemada.
recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Vamos a investigar un poquito.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
¿Puedo hacer algo?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
¿Quién lo está
Who is
tratando?
treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Vale, aquí no podemos decirle nada porque no hemos encontrado nada.
Where were you stationed?
Tenemos un azul, que ahora la
Did you
haremos.
serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
A ver, sobre la enfermedad de la señora, que es la que se cree vampira, ¿vale? Este en teoría le podríamos cautivar ya. Y ahora mismo nos da 500 de experiencia solo. Pero vamos, yo creo que seguiremos subiéndole. De momento no tenemos nada contra de él, tampoco. Al que de momento tiene todas las papeletas, yo tengo a dos ya en mente, que son el borracho del bar, que en cuanto pueda nos lo comeremos si podemos. Y al otro, que es el de las bandas, al que salvamos, al que apuñaló al otro y le tiró al río, es igual. Vamos a ver qué nos dice sobre la chica que se cree una vampira.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
La deja que le muerda.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Bueno. Entonces este tío se lleva bien con la otra y supuestamente no se va de aquí, con que se podía ir en cualquier momento por ella. Yo creo que está enamorado de ella. Esta la conocemos. Vamos a ver quién más hay por aquí, gente. Esa es la loca. Aquí hay otro.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Bueno.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Sí, pero no. O sea, yo creo que sí, que no puedes tratar a los pacientes como si fueran cobayas. Pero sí es verdad que si no experimentas algo nuevo, nunca se va a encontrar nada nuevo. Ni se va a encontrar vacunas para enfermedades nuevas, ni nada. Entonces, sí, pero no. Estoy de acuerdo con él, pero no.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've
Usted no quiere que estemos.
But I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
A mí no me hables de eso. A ver, la hostilidad está de más, le voy a decir.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is
Vamos a ser
already enough
correctos
to deal
por
with?
no
That is one point we could
partirle
agree
la cara
on.
aquí mismo.
And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used
tiene
those
papeletas,
men to improve your theories.
2600. 4.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Thank
Ahí
you
te
for your
dejo,
time.
chato.
We'll talk later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
A ver, tú qué me cuentas.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
A ver. Hábleme de usted.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are
Sobre el
you
hospital,
satisfied
¿qué me
with
tiene que
your
decir?
treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot
El
of
Ackroyd es con el que
lying.
acabamos de hablar.
Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Perdón. Vale, no podemos hablar más con él, así que lo
Goodbye for
dejamos.
now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Carta incompleta. Hospital Penetón, 2 de noviembre. Queridos hijos, siento no haberos escrito antes, pero tan solo trasladar estas palabras al maldito papel me produce un dolor insoportable. No os preocupéis. Papá abandonará el hospital en cuanto los médicos le curen el brazo. Mientras tanto, si necesitas cualquier cosa, id a ver al señor Crown a la obra y decirle que sois los hijos de Friedrich. ¿Os acordáis de Robert Chadwick? Es un hombre enorme con bigote que me ayudó a arreglar las puertas de casa la primavera pasada. Id a verlo y pedidle algunos chelines. No os pondrá ninguna pega. Siento no poder trabajar por el momento, pero ya me inventaré algo en cuanto salga de aquí. No os preocupéis. Todo irá bien en cuanto papá recupere su fuerza en el brazo. En cuanto a los médicos me curen el brazo, yo... Vale. Otra pista de este tío. Que es el Harvey no podría alimentar a su familia mientras siga con el brazo lesionado. Vale. No creo que haya abierto ninguna frase más de diálogo, pero vamos a verlo por si acaso, ¿no, gente?
Any news about my operation?
Aquí no. Aquí sí. Parece preocupado por su familia.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids.
Vale, la madre ha muerto.
Never found her body.
Y nunca se encontró el cuerpo. A ver. Sobre la
Tell
muerte de
me
la
more
esposa.
about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France.
Madre mía.
The carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Vale, a este tiene que intentar curarle lo antes posible.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me.
Bueno, podemos verlo así. 850. O sea, le podríamos matar ya, pero... Me da cosa, gente. Tiene hijos que están a su cargo.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
No, usted
Thank
no
you
quiere
for your
hablar.
time.
Bueno, sí, podríamos
We'll
hablar. A
talk
ver,
later.
espera. Un segundo.
You always knew the words to calm.
A ver si tiene
I'm quite
línea de
busy
conversación
right now,
por lo
Dr. Reed.
del... Porque es uno de los que está atendiendo al otro. Pero no.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
¿Y usted qué?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr.
Míreme a la
Reed.
cara, ¿no? Por lo menos.
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Vamos a ver, su vida en Londres. Hábleme de usted.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Estaré encantado de
It's
ayudarle.
always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Vale. Háblame de sus
I based
experimentos.
my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
2500, este nos da. Y necesitamos 4. A ver, sobre el hospital.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
¿Necesitas ayuda?
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Ok. La versión con el otro médico por sus métodos
What do you
modernos.
think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Vale. Sobre la técnica de transfusión de sangre.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Voy a decirle que me cuente más,
Tell me
aunque
Mr.
debería ser
Fiddick's
imparcial.
story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father.
El Freddy es el de la cara,
Ashamed of putting his
recordarlo.
children at risk because of his own negligence.
Ah, no, es el otro, pues una propia de inteligencia.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones and flesh.
No sé yo, o sea, ya se tuerce un poquito el otro.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
No, porque, mirad. Este tenemos las 3 pistas, nos daría 1000 puntos de experiencia. La mujer de Harvey se culpa a sí mismo por sus heridas. Algo pasó ahí. No te levantes, No te levantes que te muerdo.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, sir. Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir.
A ver, esta mujer que nos cuenta.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
A ver. Hábleme de usted.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
¿A qué se dedica?
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
¿Cuánto dinero tiene?
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
What do you think of your reception
Se
here?
queja de cómo lo recibieron. A ver
Any
qué ha
complaints?
pasado.
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Hábleme de su llegada.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
¿Le cobró?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Qué cosas más raras en este hospital, ¿eh? Está todo el mundo como súper... Son como súper
I don't
cabrones.
expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Vale, aquí ya no podemos hablar más con ella, así que la
Goodbye,
dejamos.
Mrs. Goswick.
Vamos a hablar con su hijo.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you?
¿Quieres que se
As your
vaya o qué?
doctor, I
Yo la he
cannot
hecho,
seem to leave you
Me la
alone.
llevo apartadita y me la muerdo.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Vale. Le dejaré
I'll let you
descansar.
get some rest then.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Bueno, gente, lo vamos a dejar aquí. Y ya en el siguiente episodio vemos si seguimos hablando con alguna que otra persona o vamos a ver alguna misioncilla que tenemos, etcétera. Espero que os esté gustando. Si es así, dar un like. Como veis, el hospital tiene cosas mazo de raras. La gente tiene como su lado oscuro. Así que aquí podemos zampar a mogollón de gente. Espero que os esté gustando. Si es así, ya sabéis, un like, como os he dicho. Suscribiros al canal si no lo estáis para estar a la última en los vídeos que voy a ir subiendo y compartirlo para que más gente se suscriba, seamos cada vez más y poder mejorar poco a poco, ya sabéis. Y nada, gente, lo dicho, nos vemos en la red. Chao, mis queridos vampiros.
Don't waste